Hey horror fans, and welcome to another October Horror Fest episode. I reviewed When a Stranger Calls 2006 and briefly discussed the originals. I thought I would discuss the original When a Stranger Calls released in 1979. When a Stranger Calls 1979 was inspired by a short film, The Sitter, and the first 15 minutes of the film were apparently shot separately, but then got full funding to finish the film, which could explain why the middle of the film was so bad. When a Stranger Calls was released on October 26, 1979 on a budget of $1.5 million, it managed to gross $21 million. The film starts with creepy music on a dark street, and a young girl, Jill Johnson, goes to a creepy house and meets the parents who are going out, and she's babysitting. She talks with a friend on the phone, then gets the first phone call from the caller says, "Have you checked the children?" And Jill hears a noise, and it was the fridge's ice cube tray. The caller calls again, asking, "Have you checked the children?" Jill can't get a hold of the parents because they left the restaurant. She calls the cops, and the cops suggest blowing a whistle in the phone to break the caller's eardrum. The caller calls again and says, "Why haven't you checked the children?" Jill goes upstairs to check the kids, but the phone rings and she goes back down and sits on the step. After Jill talks to the cops, they will try and trace the call. Jill keeps the caller on the line for 60 seconds, and his last words are, "Your blood all over me," and hangs up when Jill mentioned the police. The police call and tell Jill the call's coming from inside the house. Jill goes out the front door as the guy is coming down the stairs. The lead detective arrives and learns what happened, and we see the kids' body bags being carried out. 7 years later, the killer escapes, and honestly, this part of the film isn't worth watching, but instead skip to the final part. Jill now has a family, and while at dinner gets a call from the killer saying, "Have you checked the children?" Jill screams, and after losing contact with the babysitter, race home with the cops, and the kids are safe. Later, the phone line is dead, and Jill hears the killer and then tries to wake her husband, only to discover it's the killer in the bed with her. After a struggle, the detective looking for the killer shoots him, and Jill is saved, and the film ends showing the killer's face with very scary music. The film has a very good beginning and end of the film, but has a super bad middle of the film, which is why it did not get the best reviews by critics or horror fans. I said there is information stating the first 23 minutes were made first, which could explain the entire middle falling apart, but an excellent climax emerging. The film is worth a watch very definitely, but I would suggest watch the first 30 minutes, then skip ahead, because with the exception of a few flashback sequences, it's not worth much of a look, so skip to the last 20 minutes and you will definitely enjoy the film then. I almost forgot, before I end this episode, while there hasn't been real talk of alternate footage, I remember one of my high school English teachers telling me that the When a Stranger Calls novel revealed cut footage including the murdered children's heads rolling down the stairs, but again, I don't have a copy of the novel, so I can't confirm this. Please tune in tomorrow as I discuss another horror-related topic. This is the Entertainment Wizard, signing off.